எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திரும்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. Our evening is never complete without choral from Thiruvalluvar, and I request Faisal to.
இறைவனின் சாந்தியும் சமாதானம் நம் அனைவருக்கும் ஒளிப்படமாக. திருக்குறள் அதிகாரம் அறிவுடைமை. குறள் 421. அறிவற்றன் காக்கும் கருவி செருவார்க்கும் உள்ளளிக்கலாக அரண். இந்த குறளுடைய அர்த்தம் திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லும்போது, அறிவு உடையவர்களை யாராலும் அழிக்க முடியாது, அந்த அறிவு ஒரு மிக பெரும் கருவியாக உங்களை காத்து நிற்கும் அப்படிங்கிற. Knowledge is an instrument or a powerful weapon of protection against destruction. அப்படி ஒரு அழகான ஒரு உதாரணத்தை சொல்றாரு. திருக்குறள் இன்னும் ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னா, திருவள்ளுவர் திருக்குறளை சொல்லும்போது ஒவ்வொரு விஷயத்திலையும் ஒரு அழகான உவமையையும் அங்கே உள்ள புகுத்துறார். அதுல அந்த இங்க உள்ள உவமை என்னன்னா, செருவார்க்கும் உள்ளளிக்கலாக அரண். பகைவர்களோ எதிரிகளோ அறிவுடையவர்களை அழிக்க முடியாது. ஏன்னா அந்த அறிவு அவர்களுக்கு அரண் போன்று, கோட்டையை போன்று நின்று அவர்களை பாதுகாக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறத அங்கே உவமையாக அந்த அரண் கோட்டை அப்படிங்கிறத அறிவோடு ஒப்பிட்டு அவர்களை பாதுகாக்கக்கூடிய விஷயத்தை சொல்றாரு. இப்போ திருக்குறளுடைய இன்னொரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னா, அது முக்காலத்துக்கு பொருந்தக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயமா இருக்கும். அந்த காலகட்டத்தில் இது அரசர்களுக்காக இருந்ததுன்னா, ஒரு அறிவுடைய அரசனுடைய அரசாட்சியை கவிழ்க்க பகைவர்களும் எதிரிகளும் முயற்சி செஞ்சாலும் அவன் அறிவுடையவனாக இருந்தால் அந்த அறிவு அவனுடைய கோட்டைகளை அரண் நின்று என்ன செய்யும், பாதுகாக்கணும். அதே மாதிரி தான் இங்கே நம்ம இதை இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் நம்முடைய பிசினஸுக்கு நம்ம ஒப்பிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா, who has the knowledge, யார் தன்னுடைய அறிவை அந்தந்த காலகட்டத்திற்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி தகவமைத்துக் கொள்கிறார்களோ அல்லது அதை புதுப்பித்துக் கொள்கிறார்களோ, அவர்களுடைய பிசினஸ், அவர்களுடைய வியாபாரம் அந்தந்த காலகட்டத்திற்கு தகுந்தவாறு என்ன செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கும், பிசினஸ் இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும். அந்த அடிப்படையில் தான் அந்த நாலேஜை இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணுவதற்கான, அந்த நாலேஜை எம்பவர் பண்ணுவதற்கான, அந்த அறிவை இன்னும் தகவமைத்துக் கொள்வதற்கான ஒரு வழியை தான் யுஏயினுடைய ரைஸ் சாப்டர் எவ்வரி மீட்டிங்லையும் ஒரு புதுவிதமான ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி அல்லது ஒரு பிரசன்டேஷனோடு நம்ம என்ன செய்வோம் இங்கே நகர்த்திட்டு இருக்கிறோம். அந்த அடிப்படையில் நம்முடைய அறிவை பெருக்கி தமிழுக்கும் தமிழர்களுக்கும் தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கும் சிறந்தவர்களாக அறிவுடையவர்களாக வாழ்வோம். நன்றி.
Malay Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum, greeting to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you. First, I would like to thank Father Jagat Kasper to do an association or organization or this extent is absolutely not possible. It's a Herculean task. Probably I'm seeing the development for the last 2 years. It astonished. It's a tremendous task which he has taken over. May Allah bless him with all success. I also had my brother Alfred Bergman who introduced me to this association. Faisal, Ali Akbar, Dr. Bashir, Azina Madam, then our lead group, and Elias. I just noted your name again. When I said I need to do something here, Dr. Bashir asked me, Habib, I want to modify the topic and all that. Then I said, okay, we'll travel across whatever that I've learned. Every day we're learning. When Mr. Sundar, whom I respect so much, when he said he's a teacher and so-called trader, and you don't want to add anything more, then I feel slightly low. I need to control whatever I'm trying to put across. Because there are two gentlemen whom I like in Tamil Nadu. One is Mr. Sundar. The other one is Manipej Anand. These are the two gentlemen whom I believe that We are talking really realistic to the community. And that's what the fundamental is all about. My journey is, just I'll take a few seconds of my journey. My journey is always bestowed by Almighty the way that I never imagined myself. As a child, born to a rich family, the father was always a carefree guy. So all our wealth got disappeared. Then my mother took care. My mother took the solace of my maternal uncle, and I brought up my maternal uncle. We are basically from a grocery background. Then I was in a joint family. Being an inmate of a joint family is what the process of learning has happened. I've learned a lot. How to maneuver around people. That was my first lesson. So whoever is coming out of joint family will always be a successful character. That was my first step. Second step, my passion was always games or cricket. Name a game, I was always a player and appeared up to district level. And then what is given the stamina is that the physique is very, very important. Again, I take a point that unless otherwise you care your health, you can never succeed in anything. Please do care your health first. Even today, I took so much care what to eat. Probably I spend more than an hour what to eat for breakfast, what to eat for lunch, when should I take, when should I stop. So that's what my first suggestion is all about. Being a good eater, sensible eater is what is very important. இயற்கையே உணவு. இந்த உணவு இருக்கு இல்லையா, உணவு தான் மருந்து. அது எல்லா அதிகாரங்களையும் இருக்குது. அதை முதல்ல பார்த்துக்கணும். அதான் என்னுடைய பெரிய சஜஷன். ரெண்டாவது, இந்த உலகத்தை I was always negotiating this world. I never see my viewpoint at all. I always see somebody's viewpoint always. What is that he is trying to convey? Why he is talking like this? What is the justification he has? What is that he can deliver to us? What is that he is trying to give society? Then I learned one point. நான் சந்தோஷமா இல்லாம இந்த உலகத்துல நான் யாரையுமே சந்தோஷமா வச்சுக்க முடியாது. This was my second learning that I had in my school age, probably 17 years. I was a very good guy because my maternal uncle is a very good character who used to get up at 5 o'clock, but he started working all this, has been working, he has been working now, he is also working even now at the age of 80. 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's not a small task. And the 16 hours of work பண்றது, in 80 years, probably I've seen him at 17 or 18. Even today he works 16 hours. எனக்கு எப்பெல்லாம் சோறு வருதோ அப்போ யோசிப்பேன், who's the role model? When this man can work so much, why you are not working? Even today he has never taken a rest, even with ill health, not even a single day is idle. So I just copied him. That was my third lesson. Fourth, as usual, I was studying well, mathematics was my fluency. Wealth is everything. And we have to create wealth. Then I started going inside, why should I create wealth? Then if wealth is required for me, I don't need to have wealth. But wealth is required for the society. எனக்காக நான் வாழ போறேன்னா என்னுடைய தேவைகள் ரொம்ப கம்மி. பட் இந்த உலகத்துக்காக நான் வாழ போறேன். இப்போ அதே ஒரு 4,000 பீப்புளுக்கு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா, even you keep just average of 2,000 dirham salary for 4,000, it is about 8 million. Every day first of the month, you have to keep 8 million on table. It is not a big group. 8 million dirham disbursement is something like 20 crores. So then I said, yes, entrepreneurs are long-term focus. Then again, no money, how to become an entrepreneur, the challenge. I don't know how to talk much, but I'll shorten it in few seconds. 2 lessons I have learned. One is cash flow is everything. However wealthy I am, however reserves I have in my balance sheet, if I don't disburse my salary on the first of the month, means Sundar acknowledge that the company is salary anymore. So the cash flow is what is the foremost thing. How you bring cash is your headache. Then what to do, what not to do. Then one day my uncle was giving me a lecture, what kind of a business I should do. And that I'll complete the story. He told me, he's very illiterate, he's not even straight post-graduate. And today he has created almost 100 crores with that, all purely by his smartness. And he told me to do anything, there's a 4 rule. Credit to cash, credit to credit, cash to credit, cash to cash. You have to choose whatever you believe or whatever you want to do that should go under this rule. So the ideal case, he always said, you can take on credit because you're not going to cheat anybody, but everybody can cheat you. That's what that success. So I was always trying to take an industry where I don't do business, because I strongly believe my right hand will not trust my left hand will not trust my right hand. So that's what the model is. Again, my suggestion to all of you, always work on this criteria. This whole world is moving on 5 asset classes. No exception to any individual. Every individual has an asset class, which is a real estate. The entire wealth of asset class in the world is valued to be $640 trillion. And the residential is 520. And 120 is the commercial properties. That's for the first asset class. So in this, everybody has a preference. Take any individual, even the smallest, poorest of poor, would like to have a small house of their own. And that's what the valuation of real estate in the world is about. Then, as usual, so this is our job business, which is the stock market. Stock market valuation is around, we need to be 120 to 150 trillion dollars based on daily market movements, but its average of 24 averages $130 trillion. The valuation of stock market before 10 years was around $60 trillion, and today it is around $130 trillion. Probably the multiples have changed, and that's what it is. That game is technically double of the interest rate. If interest rate in the country like India is 8%, then probably people should double the wealth in 5 years, which is technically 15% of whatever it is it's worth. So basically, the people like Sundar plays around this doubling or tripling. He probably makes triple, but doubling in 5 years is a fair business of the stock market. The debt market is another market, which is again $130 trillion. And that is exactly equating the inflation in the world. That's what determines the interest rates in any central banks. And that is $130 trillion. And which I have not touched, it's probably a bit later, it's bond market. And we are talking about commodity. Commodity is again $130 trillion. You have seen a similarity, 130, 130, 130, 640, and probably 3 times of multiples of the real estate. So technically 6 times. That's a world wealth moving around this side and that side. So commodity constitute 4 areas. One is energy, which is oil and gas, then agri-products, starting from cocoa to meat to rice, anything is agri-products, then precision metals, then industrial metals. Industrial metals will be copper, iron, copper, iron, aluminum, everything. So this is what the world is about. The biggest lesson that I'm trying to give it to you, all of us, every individual should work only on this combination. Whatever wealth you have, try to keep 40 to 50% in real estate. Whether it is 1 lakh or 50 lakhs or 1 crore or 5 crores or 10 crores, keep your real estate wealth to 40 to 50%. The biggest problem in countries like India, unlike here, and here is totally structured. RERA, land department is doing an excellent job here anyway. In countries like India, the land document, the claimant is the owner. You can be a owner unless you do SLR or Patta or Chitta, and then it is not properly documented, and the sequence of transferring the property, somebody can come and make a claim. Because earlier days there was no proper documentation. The property might have migrated to 10, 15 parties, and party 7 will come and make a claim saying, this is a false signature. If you can prove false signature, probably the court takes 20. Because they know there are a lot of false signatures there. That's why our court itself is designed to drag the case for 2 to 3 decades to claim back. So in India, a country like India, you own a property, you possess the property. You own a property, give it to somebody else, it's not your property. That's a problem in real estate. So in your entire wealth, try to keep 40 to 50% as a real estate property. Because that is understood by even a very, very common man with very little IQ and knowledge, it sits over there. That's why I always recommend 40 to 50% of wealth being real estate. For people like me, debt market is not a game because we are Muslims, we cannot do debt areas because interest is prohibited. So then we left out with stock market. Stock market, somebody has a thorough knowledge as good as Sindha or Anand, he can work on it. But to do it as a full time and to have a return is another task that most of the people fail. Because the business has become an insider game. How good the balance sheet is, how good the balance sheet can be manipulated, how good the statutory authority can assist you to manipulate the balance sheet. We all know Chitra's story, the SEBI Chitra story. When given that kind of a compulsion, to succeed as a stockbroker or a stock trader, it's another task that I don't recommend. But as long as you are guided by a proper team or you have a very good knowledge how to interpret a balance sheet, in the sense, if you take a debt-free company, you can always trust. That's a simple rule I have. Even now I have some investments in stock market, but I go a simple route, debt-free, like Infosys. No debt, okay, for colors. Whenever there is a debt, like Adani Group, the capitalization can be anything and can collapse also at any time. That's what you have seen also in his own Adani Group, in spite of all the support that he had for the government. Then again we are coming to the commodity. Commodity is a different game. Commodity is another beautiful area which most of the people, almost 99 or 100 people don't have a knowledge of commodity market. That's such a wealthy market. You take gas. You know what is the gas reserves of the world? It's 8,000 trillion cubic feet of. And you know what is the oil reserves in the world? 1.6 trillion of barrels is the reserve, multiplied by, let's say, $60 after all expenses. You are talking 200 trillion. Similarly, the gas. Today gas is very cheap, $2.7 per million BTU. And again, that is about $60 to $80 trillion. Now let's come to our commodity, the gold. I'll take another 5 to 6 minutes. Why I entered gold? Because I was a contracting guy like Aki, pulling 500 to 1,000 people all the time. And the stress was always there. Really, I learned my lesson, and then probably my gap analysis was very good. Then I succeeded as a contractor. Even now, we are working as a contractor. We have really succeeded. We are doing really well in contracting. You have to change the game every morning. So I felt to my children's, given the compulsions, given the teachings that I had, then I said we should do a business where things should be click of a finger cash, click of a finger business. Then COVID time gave me a very good opportunity because travel was stopped. So I was roaming around what to do, what not to do. And that's where I really did SWOT analysis for gold. Then I felt this is the best business for anybody. Only one reason why I call it as the best. Today I'm a contractor and I'm making a money. A road wala Bangladeshi cannot come and compete me. So that was exactly the problem in the contracting industry. Then this is what, then I felt let's not leave the legacy of contracting business as a burden to my children. So then I started working it, and COVID time, Alhamdulillah, God has given a lot of opportunity. And let's talk about gold. The story of mankind is the story of gold. It has no liability. As long as you have it in your purse, it's your own. That's the second merit of gold. It is a currency until 1972. It has become a currency even today, which I'll explain a bit later. The history of the world is history of gold. Every war was fought for gold. Whether you talk World War I, World War II, or World War III, is also gold. I'll explain a bit later. For women like Hasina, probably for her, Sanya, insurance, it's an insurance, no? You have a gold, you don't depend on anybody, even husband. That's a secret. In COVID time, the entire woman community managed their family in spite of not having a remuneration from husband only through gold. We do not know how they manage the fund. That's purely because of that weapon. Then it's a currency. Currency is what? Currency is central bank, like Modi's half, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000 was not valid, 500 was not valid, and all that. So when that can happen, gold cannot be done like that. Gold is not drawn on anybody's liability, which I explained previously, and real estate, claimant is the buyer. Any litigation can be done by anybody, even somebody wants to harass. Even though you are a claimant of the property, somebody can come and do whatever nonsense they want to do. This I've explained to you already, why I've chosen the gold business. Because gold industry is one industry where you can take risk, but I'm selling on cash. That's the secret of this selection. So this is one. So today price I've given 276,000 dirhams a kg. Next one. Why in India gold is costlier? India levy custom duty of 10% and agriculture, agri-infrastructure which is 5% and GST 3%, another supplementary assistance altogether. The gold is costlier by 18.5% in India compared to Dubai, and that's why a lot of Kuruvi and all that is happening, which I cannot talk openly. So, I don't know, there's a bit of information here. The world gold reserves believed to be recognized by the World Gold Council, 3 lakh tons. But in my interpretation, it should be around 4 lakh to 5 lakh tons. India alone is holding 30,000 tons of gold. India alone. So India is never a proper country, can never be a poor country. 30,000 tons with population, probably for a family of let's say 2 plus 2 or 1 elder woman, 5 people, 100 grams per capita holding per household. Per individual, it's about 20 grams. This statistics nobody can dispute. And in various articles, even World Gold Council acknowledged it. Why it is called precision metal? Why it's called precise metal? The reason is this. There are only 5 commodities which don't react with the gas, with the air, not a radioactive, and gas, not gas reactive. That's why it's called precision. In the periodic table of all the elements, these 5 elements is called precise metal. Today probably you understood why it is called precise. Gold ஓட பெரிய ரகசியம் என்ன தெரியுமா? இதை கற்றுக்கிறது எந்த அறிவும் தேவையில்லை. ஒரு சாதாரண கோல்டு செயினை நீங்கள் ஒரு மணி நேரம் கையில் தூக்கி விளையாண்டிங்கன்னா உங்கள் மண்டைக்குள்ளே எல்லாமே போயிடும். அப்புறம் ஒரு கவரிங்கை கொடுத்தா அதை நீங்கள் பார்த்துட்டு இதையும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்கள் தலையே சொல்லி கொடுத்துரும் இது கவரிங் இது கோல்டு. Because the steel specific weight is 7.85 tons per meter cube, whereas this is almost 2.6 times. And yes, biscuit can be paying as much as 1 kg. An iPhone like this will be like 2.25 kgs. Issue on money printing issue is leading to deficit, and deficit is creating a crisis. And today, poor is becoming poor, middle class is becoming slightly poor, and even the educated professionals are becoming middle class. That's a fate. The fate is not because of us, the fate is because of delinking the currency printing from gold. That's exactly the problem, but it is changing now, particularly post 2023, which I'll explain as a final summation. And this is SWOT analysis of gold. The strength of gold is emotional attachment to women. Sir, if I speak anything on that, probably I'll be deemed as a man who came to this stage with a purpose. I don't want. So I leave it to Rice to decide. I'll summarize with that. I've answered your question indirectly. Please. So my phone number is there with the Rice. Anytime, any clarification on gold, give me a call after 6 o'clock. No problem.
Sir, first of all, congratulations for getting into the gold industry, especially.
I've given the whole world industry.
Yes, sir. The COVID time start பண்ணேன்னு சொன்னீங்க. Every obstacle.
Sir, same people like Sundar story. When everybody gets out, enter in. Warren Buffett. He's our Tamil Warren Buffett. So when everybody gets out, enter in. Today my shop, people are ready to take it for 1.1 to 1.5 million goodwill. When I took it, no goodwill.
ஷார்ட்டாக பேசணும்னா நெஸ்லே கேட் அப்படி தான் சொல்கிறோம். தேவோஸ் மீட் வந்து இது எப்படின்னா ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி தான் இது. அடுத்து தேவோஸ், இதுக்கு முன்னாடி யூகே, தேவோஸ், அடுத்து யூஎஸ்ஏ, இந்த மாதிரி நிறையா சிட்டிஸ்லாம் விசிட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. நாட் ஓன்லி தட் ஒன், தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்து தமிழ்நாடு மக்கள் மற்றும் உலக அளவில் உள்ள தமிழ் மக்கள் எல்லாம் வர்றதுனால we can able to connect, interact, have a good relations. ஸோ அதுதான் ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங். ஈவன் இங்கே ரைஸ் துபாயில் வந்தாலே we come to know lot of friends and networking and lot of sharing ideas. As Dr. Bashir sir said, it is not about happening in 6 months time, 1 year time. Long term relationship it will continue. So always வந்து ஒரு இது எப்படின்னா, இந்த சைனாவில் வந்து சைனீஸ் பேம்புன்னு ஒன்று இருக்குது. அந்த சைனீஸ் பேம்பு வந்து சீட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், ஒரு 5 years 6 years வரைக்கும் மேலே வளரவே வளராது. பட் ஆஃப்டர் அந்த 5 years 6 years பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it will be growing up to 20-30 meters like anything. It is very very profitable. So we need to wait for the result to come. Maybe that seeding time, planting time will take. Thank you.
துபாயில் வந்து சர்வா இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் ஸ்டேட் ஃபேப்ரிகேஷன் அண்ட் ஜெண்டர் ட்ரேடிங் நடத்திட்டுருக்கேன். லவ் சமிட்டுக்கு வந்து நான் வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ரியலி ப்ரௌட் ஆஃப் தேட். ஸோ ஐலண்ட் கேஸில் நான் அப்டேட்டில் இருக்கிறதுனால அதில் வந்து ஐலண்ட் கேஸ் நல்ல ஒரு வரவேற்பு இருக்குங்கிற நம்பிக்கை எனக்கு இருக்குது. அங்கே நிறைய பேரை மீட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு நான் ஆர்வத்தில் கலந்துக்க போகிறேன். ஸோ நீங்களும் எல்லோரும் வந்து பார்க்குறதுக்கு நான் சந்தோஷப்படுறேன். தேங்க்யூ.
இங்கே நியூட்டன் குளோபல் கிரியேட்டிவ் பிஸ்னஸ்ன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு கம்பெனிக்கு வச்சுருக்கோம். ரீசெண்டாக தான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம். அந்த கம்பெனிஸில் வந்து மூவி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டர்ஸ்க்கு நாங்கள் வந்து இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் பண்ணுறோம். 20 years அனிமேஷன் ஸ்டுடியோ சென்னையில் இருக்குது. அங்கே ரன் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கோம் அனிமேஷன். இங்கே வந்து மீடியா ரிலேட்டடாக பண்ணணுன்ற இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இங்கே பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கேன். 2 yearsக்கு முன்னாடி ரைஸ் மீட்டிங் நடந்தப்போ நான் லண்டனில் தான் இருந்தேன். அங்கே ஒரு 3 years ஹாஸ்பிட்டாலிட்டி டெஸ்டிங் நான் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருந்தோம், ஒர்க் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருந்தோம். ஸோ இப்போ இங்கே திருப்பி அப்போ நான் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணல ரைஸில். பட் அப்போ என்னோடய ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் அங்கே அட்டென்ட் பண்ணாங்க. அப்போ இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்குது பண்ணணும்னு. பட் இப்போ தேவர்ஸ் போகிறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். யூஏயில் போகிறோம், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். அதுக்கு முன்னாடியே இங்கே உங்களை எல்லாரையும் பார்த்தா எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். தேங்க்யூ.
நாசல்கோர் துபாயில் டிஸ்கவரி கார்டன் 3 இடத்துல வச்சுருக்கிறேன். உணவு மருந்தே உணவு என்ற தாரா மந்திரத்தோட நல்ல சுவையான உணவை தாய்மை வழியில் சிறந்த உணவு அளித்து வருகிறோம்.
காஸ்ட் கன்சல்டன்சி கம்பெனி வச்சுருக்கேன், ரிலேட்டட் டு கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன். என்னோட கூட இன்னொரு பார்ட்னர் வந்து அவர் ஸ்மார்ட் கேஸ் கம்பெனி. நாங்கள் இது இன்னொரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். இது வந்து ஒரு ரியல் எஸ்டேட் ஃபேம், ஹொரைசான் கேட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ பிளான் டு பிகம் அ சில்வர் ஸ்பான்சர் இன் Davos also. Real estate deal like even plots or any apartment townhouses, anything, you can contact us. So it's a 1-year-old company, but we have a lot of investors and contacts available. So we want to grow a lot using rice and the Dubai market. Thank you for the opportunity.